Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Makakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do well and teach this truth with all honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth with all honesty and sincerity to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. And double shalom to you Akim that come looking like the heathen, but you are in fact of the stock of Israel, and you hold near and dear this truth and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, wherever you may be scattered. Shalom to the few sincere Akwathium that listen and learn in silence, playing your creation role as the Lord commanded you to, which is in all subjection, reverencing your husbands, being his pillar of rest, which is, the order, man. This is why the woman was created, to be a man's helpmeet. Now here we come, this Facebook post, Ian Dub, blaming the so-called black man yet again for their decisions, their behaviors, and the results of their lives. He said black men are the reason black women are the least married. Now, how in the world is that so-called black man's fault? You see, the so-called black man didn't say, hey, you know what, to hell with the black woman, the so-called black woman, the end up. No, it was the other way around. They chose to divest. They chose to accept welfare. They chose to say to hell with the so-called black man. And they had a good run. They had a real good run shitting on the so-called black man. But what they didn't understand is that it was going to be more detrimental to them than beneficial. You have the divestors, that are getting jacked up by massa. They their savior, as they see it. You got so-called black women online begging and pleading the so-called white man to just eradicate the so-called black man. You see? Where do you see, even with all the hell that the so-called black man is catching, you don't see that. You don't see them calling to just eradicate, so-called black women. You don't see that, man. And this is how you know it's getting bad. You may have heard of a guy named Young Pharaoh, an Israelite who's stuck in this Egyptian custom state of mind. Got the Egyptian, so the eye of Horus tattooed around his eye and all this madness. He was the biggest, one of the biggest Queen of Heaven worshipers, one of the biggest, the black woman is God and all this. And even he just had a video come out saying about them being a problem, the so-called black woman being a problem, just raising hell. Because as Genesis, 3:16 states, she's gonna desire to rule over the man, but the husband is going to rule over her. You see, and all these things they try to attempt, the emotional manipulation, the using your child as a pawn, all these different things that they've done, man, getting the authorities on you, is for them because they want to rule over you. And when they see that, okay, they may get a man that they can rule over, and they're easily bored, they're easily tired, and they disrespect them, they commit adultery on them, all these things. They have no respect for them. Their goal is to conquer, an austere man, an upright man, a man that has, integrity and stands on for something. You know, it's easy to that's not a challenge, for them to conquer a knucklehead. They want to get the man off of his purpose and make him a servant. They don't really understand the king's position. You know, they'll say they want a king, but then they really want loyal subjects, man. They want peasants to rule over. And that's just not the order. But here it is. They blame the so-called black man for the results of their actions and their behaviors, man. That's what a child does. That's what a child does. Oh, so and so made me. No, you're an adult and you made your decisions, but now you're upset with the outcome, you know, and that's on you, man. That's on you. It's gonna get worse too. But let me grab some scriptures and Lord willing, you be edified and understand that it's not all, but it's a great majority of them that have this mindset. This is the book of Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. You see, and a lot of them have done that, man. You know, let's say her husband or man or whatever does things that she doesn't like. She'll just destroy everything. You know, she'll get him fired from his job, which what affects his money. Get him locked up in jail, which what affects him being there for his children. Don't let another woman uh, 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 or him join another woman unto himself. Oh, she's gonna take the children. She's gonna put them on child support. She's gonna try to get them locked up. All type of things, man. When it says a wise woman buildeth her house, the more wives a man have, you can build a small empire, man. But they're so drunk off the devil's juice that they do things that is a detriment to them. You know that's more help on your end. You see, you women think you're superwoman, but you're not, man. The Lord has this set up to work in a perfect harmony. But when you uh, 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 um, look at the devil like he's the his way is the way, yes, you're gonna end up right in these situations that you're ending up in. Mad at the results of your actions, man. When you follow the scriptures, man, things go well with you. Let's go to Proverbs 21 and verse 9. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. You see? And men are seeing that, man. Even Esau is tired of the end of, man. Men are seeing that it's not worth it. You know, it's women out here that look at us and see our value. They look at us and want to join themselves to us. Because they see, they see the gold. You know, they see what the prize is. Having a Jake man. You know, they have been brought up around heathens, and they get around Jakes, man, and they see, damn, these men are smart. These men have compassion. These men have understanding, and not all because of 2/3 or they fucked up. But the men of our nation that have understanding, that are wise, man, that move with integrity and a purpose, man. They're winning, you know, and as the beloved brother Kuala from the Jeff City camp says, man, hey, the Israelite man and his truth, man, our stock is up, man. You see, the tables are turning. Let's go to Proverbs 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. You see, and these women have shit on the so-called black man for years, damn near a decade, if not longer. Now all of a sudden, you're the least desired in the world. Well, I'll say in this country, and now you blame the so-called black man. No one told you to divest. No one told you to go publicly saying all the bitches, gripes, and complaints that you have about the so-called black man, because he won't do whatever you want him to do. You know, you made yourself look foolish and stupid, man. But to see a Jake with a Edomite or another type of woman, and oh, he's weak. Oh, now I just heard something else. Oh, if you with an Edomite woman, oh, he must be gay. These women come up with everything in the world to say and every excuse except for looking at themselves in the mirror and realizing that I done this to myself. See, again, I said this in a previous video. The first step to correcting shit is admitting there's a problem. You have to admit that you have a problem to even be able to fix it. But they will not admit that they have been a problem, man, in society. Why? Because they've had liberty to do all these things and say, hey, I've done nothing wrong. Okay, well, guess what? The Lord is about to show you proud end dubs, that your way is not going to work. There's no cheat code to getting what you want. The best thing for a woman to do is to be in order under her man. Salaki, I forgot. Chapter 25. it reiterates this, man. Verse 24. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. You see? It says this a few times throughout the scriptures, man. Just how important that is. And men are realizing that, hey, man, I won't deal with her. And they get the hell on. Let's go to the book of 1 Timothy 2 and verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. And that's something, those two things they have failed to do. Be silent and be in all subjection unto their man. No, they're loud and boisterous and they want to rule over their man. They talk down on their man publicly and to other people, on these platforms. And they don't realize that makes them look stupid, man. thinking that they can just go anywhere and be chosen, but it's not the case. They're seeing that. Like I said, even these divestors been catching hell, thinking that, oh, these other nations look at you like you're something. No, you're just a notch in their belt. Because in ancient times, our women knew not to fuck with the heathen. Because the Israelite man, out of all the tribes, man, or the creme de la creme in the world, you see. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. So like, yeah, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And they have failed to do that, thinking they can just go anywhere and be the prize. And it's not working. It didn't pan out for them the way they thought. You see? For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. You see? Even back then, Eve tried to go another way. Brought death into the world by what? Listening to these philosophies and ideologies of the devil, man. And we see it happening in these times as well. But guess what? Who they blame? They don't blame themselves. They blame the so-called black man. You leave them alone and let them do their thing, they gonna blame the black man. Oh, I'm not married because it's your fault. You won't put up with my bullshit. Hell out of here, man. I mean, you can't make this shit up. So go to the book of First Corinthians, chapter 11, and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Yahweh Shai. You see? So there's an order. There is an order, man. And you see that the so-called black woman has disregarded that order. She wants to be the head, you know? And guess what? The devil came to them with that welfare back in the 60s. And it's even videos of so-called black women back then saying, oh, yeah, I'd rather not have a man in the house. Why? Oh, because you're getting benefits from the devil. But guess what it came with? It came with a price to pay. The ruin of your family. It came with the ruin of your family. And you didn't count that cost, man. Then what was next? Oh, you can work. And guess what happened? Now the man is out the house. You're out the house working. Now guess what? Ain't nothing left to raise your child but the stupid box, is what my mom used to call it. The stupid box. The TV. And guess who? What? Indoctrination on your children in the school and then the media. But you got your bag, your nails and your hair done. You got the money. You empowered at what cost? You see? See, the devil don't play fair. And it's gradualism. He set you up way back then so you could be in shambles in these times without protection, without a covering, without a family, with no structure. You're just blowing in the fucking wind. You know, Mark 3 and 27 says, uh, 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 matter of fact, I'll just get it. It reads, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, meaning his woman, his children, and his possessions, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. You see? You fucking N dubs help the devil to bind the strong man. And guess what? He spoiled y'all ass, man. It was a robbery, man. He messed you over. He messed you over, and now you complaining about it. But it was your fucking, you allowed the devil to come in. You gave him place. You gave him what a word I'm looking for. A foothold. You let him plant his foot in your life, but you didn't see all this coming. Let's go to the book of Romans. You know, they love to talk about the so-called black man as if, you know, um, like everything they do is so wrong because it doesn't fit into their criteria or their agenda. No, your agenda is supposed to line up with his. You don't run the show. And when you do get in the driver's seat, you fucking crash and burn and you blame somebody else other than yourself. Oh man. Well, this is Romans 1 and 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this call, and the end dub, worship the so-called white man. Like his way is the right way because he gives them liberty to do wickedness and don't hold them accountable until he see fit to hold them accountable. You know, for this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. The women, oh, let me be with another woman. Even the woman trying to rule over the man, that's against nature. You see? It's against nature. You women brag about not cooking, not cleaning, not being the keeper of the house, not dressing modest. You chose to do that, man. The so-called black man didn't not make you do that. You changed your natural use, man, which is to be a mother, a wife, a helpmeet. You wanted to be a bad bitch. You wanted to be an empowered woman, whatever the hell that means. You wanted to be independent, but you wasn't. You was dependent on Esau Edom and his system. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. This is Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. You see, and they'll love to say, uh, I'm married to the Lord. No, that's my husband. No, the scripture said, submit yourself to your husband as unto the Lord. You know? So you just, hey, you all brought this on yourselves, man. But again, you will try to blame the so-called black man for your decision making, for the results that you chose. You know, you chose those actions, and that's the results. Nobody's fault but your own. Because why? You didn't take heed to the scriptures, man, that things would go well with you. Let's go to the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 25, and start at verse 8. It reads, well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding. You see? A wife of understanding. These women don't have no understanding, man. Because if they did, they wouldn't be so quick to run off at the mouth. They wouldn't have chose the choices that they made, you know, because they didn't consider the latter end. You see? It ain't about just having a wife. You have to have a wife that is fearful of the Lord and that just wants to do right. You know, these women these days, they just want a husband to say, I got a husband, and to brag about committing adultery on them, brag about talking shit to them and trying to punk them and rule over them. That's all it is. You know? Let's go to 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And America is the perfect society for you to see just how low in wickedness these women get, man. You know? Verse 16, it reiterates this again. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. You see? This is it's vexing to live with these women, man. And they think they and they think they just the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, you got mold on you though. Let's go to verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Right. These women love to run off at the mouth, man. You know, and talk shit. You say it's as the climbing up a sandy way. You climbing up a sandy hill, to an old man climbing up a sandy hill, man. You gonna be tired and wore the fuck out and vexed, man. That's what it's like, man. To be dealing with a woman that's full of words, man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Why? Because you got to feel these women out. You got to see what's to them. And more times than not, it's going to be wickedness, man. Verse 23, a wicked woman abated the courage, maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. You see? And you see this all the time, these women abating the courage of their husband. You know, that talking shit, man. When he going through something, what do? They pile it on. Instead of being that help meet and that bring in some comforting words and uplift them. No, they want to talk shit about him going through something. Of the woman of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. You see. So what do they have to be proud of? But these type of scriptures were taken out of the scriptures for the confusion to set in. Because if this was read in the Christian church, where could the pride be? They would know exactly, why they should be humble. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. And that's what Esau Edom has done, giving them liberty to just be wicked and go around stirring up confusion and mischief, jumping on this ride, jumping on that ride. Now you don't know who the father is, man raising up some other man's seed and paying child support or whatever the hell, and then find out it's not his. But guess what? Oh well. This place has to go right along with those type of women, man. Verse 26, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Right. And that's what men are doing now. Men are seeing that this is the most viable option to just get the hell away from her, man. And now it's the black man's fault because the so-called black woman is not being married, man. Chapter 26 and verse 7, an evil wife is as a yoke, Salakia, shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. And that's what a lot of them is, man. They'll fucking sting you and poison you, man. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Right. And there a lot of them guilty of that too. And how does that make the man look? It makes him look weak, man. When your woman out here bugging out. So the viable option is to let her go, not to deal with her. You see, these women thought that these men were gonna just be fools for them forever. You see? Verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And that's exactly what has happened. They have fucked themselves up because they had too much liberty. You couldn't tell them nothing. You couldn't teach them nothing. You couldn't advise them on anything. You know what they're going to say? You're not my dad. But guess what? You didn't listen to him either. Um, let's go to verse 24. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. You see? And it's some out there. It's rare, but it's some out there, you know. And what does the majority of these end dubs do, man? They just bring shame, man, and they don't care. Ass out twerking, just being a complete nut, man. So uncouth that you don't want that to be your representation. A man of understanding don't want a woman like that representing him, and that's why you're not being married. Um, Verse 25: a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, and that's why you get called a B word, man. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord, and those the women that are getting cuffed up, man. Those are the women that's gonna be, taken in that day, man. A lot of the end dubs is not just not gonna be accepted, man. You're gonna be assed out, just like you been pulling your ass out all this time, shaking it. You're gonna be assed out in these streets, man, because all hell is about to break loose in this society. Believe it or not. Verse 26: a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. You see, look how y'all have been treating the so-called black man, and you think you're gonna run to somewhere else, and they gonna just take you in and just no, you divest, and a lot of them just die. And if read or seen the news, you've seen that a lot of them been taken out by the man they went and divested with, especially the cops, man. I'll read 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry: a man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and I see this all the time, man. If you a man of understanding, hey, the so-called majority of these end dubs gonna do one or two things. They gonna get the hell away from you because they can't manipulate you, or they gonna try to get a little close to you so they can milk you of, of information, counsel, guidance, and go run that on somebody else. That's a unsuspecting victim on a man of a lesser level of understanding. I've seen it too many times. So why the best thing is just like the apostles elder said, man, don't deal with them because they Jake, they'll supplant you, man. But I'll end it off with this. I didn't intend for this to be that long, but um, precepts was coming. This is Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? And shame is covering these women. They seeing that, damn, I'm out here assed out. I have no man to protect me. I have no man to be called by his name. You know, a lot of them just resort to being harlots, man. Putting a price on it. Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. You see, and if you had uh became a wife early and got up under a man of understanding early, hey, this could have been avoided. But hey. You wanted to do your own thing, and you see where it led you. Nowhere. But I hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm gonna say Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and Abba Babal.